So we said that the answer to this question is zero, because we must use the directional indicators if we want to exit from the carjacker and stop our vehicle. Of course, guys, if you want to stop your vehicle, okay, at the edge side, whether the right hand side of the carjacker or the left hand side of the carjacker, the law says that once we are changing our lanes, we must always do so by showing the directional indicators in advance. We must always use our directional indicators when we want to change our lanes. So the answer to this question is zero, because we want to exit. We want to come out from the carjacker and stop our vehicle. So the answer to this question is zero. Our next question. È consentito l'uso intermittente dei proiettori di profondità a luce abbagliante esclusivamente nei casi di pericolo immediato, vero o falso? Guys, the answer to this question is false. Guys, look at the question careful. The question says that è consentito l'uso intermittente dei proiettori di profondità. It means that it is allowed the use of the high beam light exclusively or only in case of immediate danger. And the answer to this question is false, because the law says that outside the city, which is fuori città, if the public illumination is poor and no vehicle is approaching, you can use the high beam light for your normal circulation outside the city. If the public illumination, especially if the street lights, okay, they are very poor and no vehicle is approaching, you can use the high beam light. And the question says that it is allowed to use the high beam light only in case of immediate danger. And the answer to this question is false. Okay, when there is immediate danger, okay, you can use this high beam light to give a signal or to warn that there is a danger. But where there is a poor illumination for the cheetah and no vehicle is approaching, you can also use the high beam light also. So not only in immediate danger. Our next question. I catadiotri sono dispositivi che riflettono la luce, vero o falso? Guys, don't give up. We are going to make it. We are going for the victory. Because today we have many questions to do. So if you get one question wrong, guys, we have now started. There are more questions to go to, or there are more questions to go through. So please don't worry at all. And the answer to this question is vero. Now, in catadioptry, we are talking about the reflectors. Yeah, vehicles, they have reflectors. The question says that they are devices that reflect light, and the answer to this question is true. Yeah, they reflect light because they are reflectors. Our next question. Di notte, in caso di sosta fuori dalla carreggiata, è obbligatorio tenere accese le luci anabbaglianti, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. The question says that di notte, so at night, in caso di sosta, so in case of parking, okay, at night, if you park your vehicle outside the carreggiata, so assuming that you've parked your vehicle, okay, yeah, outside the carreggiata, è obbligatorio, it is compulsory, tenere accese, to keep on or to switch on your low beam light. And the answer to this question is false. Guys, if you park your car or your vehicle and you leave or you turn on your low beam light, by the time you will come for your vehicle the next morning, the battery is already discharged. So we are not forced to keep our light on, the low beam light on, if we park our vehicle, yeah, at the side of carreggiata. No. Next question. Il simbolo raffigurato è posto sulla spia delle luci abbaglianti accese, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. Yeah, so this symbol is not referring to the high beam light. Yeah, so this one refers to the low beam light. Our next question. Durante la marcia, nelle ore notturne, l'uso delle luci anabbaglianti è obbligatorio, anche se l'illuminazione pubblica è sufficiente, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. The question says that durante la marcia, nelle ore notturne, so during circulation, okay, at night, l'uso delle luci anabbaglianti, so the use of the low beam light, è obbligatorio, it is compulsory, anche se, even if the public illumination is sufficient, and the answer is true, guys. At night, even if in the road, okay, on the road, the street lights, they are perfect, they are giving enough light. The law says that we must always circulate with our low beam light on in the night, and the answer to this question is vero. Our next question. Non si devono usare gli indicatori di direzione se per entrare in un passo carabile occorre svuotare a destra. Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. The question says that non si devono usare gli indicatori di direzione. So we must not use the directional indicators to enter into a vehicle passage. When you say passo carabile, it means vehicle passage. You are entering, okay, into your private zone, whether it's your villa or any of your private property. You are entering to your compound. So we must not use the directional indicators if we want to enter into our vehicle passage, and we have to turn to our right. And the answer to this question is false, guys, because we are turning either to our left or to our right to enter into our homes or our compound. We must always indicate these directional indicators. Our next question: è obbligatorio accendere i proiettori anabaglianti anche di giorno quando si transita in galleria? Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero, guys. È obbligatorio accendere i proiettori anabaglianti. It is compulsory to turn on the low beam light, even in the daytime, when we are transiting or when we are circulating through tunnel. And the answer to this question is vero, guys. If you remember, I said that in tunnel, autostrada, strada principale, and strada secondaria, we must always keep our low beam light on, regardless of the public illumination. Okay, galleria, autostrada, principale, secondaria, we must always have our low beam light on. It is only in the city whereby we have the 30 minutes after sunset and 30 minutes before sunrise. Our next question: l'uso degli indicatori di direzione non è necessario se si deve parcheggiare il veicolo spostandosi verso il margine destro della carreggiata. Vero o falso? Guys, you can see that this chapter 11, most of the questions are all questions without images, but they are very simple. They are very, very simple. At times, these questions without images, some of them are very simple as compared to the questions with images. So please don't give up. Once you understand everything, all the questions, whether the question is long or short, it will be very, very simple. So the answer to this question is false. L'uso degli indicatori di direzione. So the use of the directional indicators non è necessario. It is not necessary. Se si deve parcheggiare if we must park the vehicle moving towards the right edge of the carreggiata, and the answer is false. We are circulating, okay, on carreggiata, and we want to park our vehicle on the right hand side of the carreggiata. So it means that you are moving from the carreggiata or from the lane towards the right hand side. So you are changing your lane. So it is necessary to use your directional indicator. So now let's go to our next question. It says that I catadiotri di colore bianco hanno la funzione di evidenziare la parte davanti dei rimorchi e semirimorchi, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. I catadiotri, so these reflectors, di colore bianco, so the white reflector, hanno la funzione di evidenziare, so their functioning is to highlight or to show la parte davanti, the front part of the trailers or the semi-trailers. And the answer to this question is vero. Okay, so the white part is always located on the front part of the trailers, and the yellow is on the lateral side. Okay, and the red triangle is located at the parte posteriore. That's the back part. So this one, we are talking about the white reflectors. So their functioning is to highlight or to show the front part of these trailers. Our next question. Il simbolo raffigurato è posto sul comando di accensione dei proiettori di profondità, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. Yeah, so this symbol figure, it is posted or it is found on a command indicating that you have activated or you have turned on your high beam light. Of course, on the cruscotto, where we have the display, if you see this symbol, okay, with the blue color, it tells you that your high beam light is activated or it is being switched on. Our next question. L'uso dei proiettori a luce abbagliante è necessario fuori dai centri abitati quando l'illuminazione pubblica manca e non si incrociano altri veicoli, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. So the use of this high beam light, it is necessary outside the city, fuori dei centri abitati, so outside the city. Quando l'illuminazione pubblica, so if the public illumination is lacking, manca means the lack of something. So if the street light, okay, it is lacking and vehicles are not approaching towards your direction, the law says that you can use the high beam light, and the answer to this question is vero. So know that you can only use it for città, outside the city, for your normal circulation, whereby the public illumination, the street lights are not giving enough light and no vehicle is approaching. In that case, you can use the high beam light. È consentito l'uso intermittente dei proiettori di profondità a luce abbagliante per segnalare al veicolo che precede, sia di giorno che di notte, l'intenzione di sorpassare, vero o falso? Guys, you see that these are all questions without images, but yet the questions are very, very simple. The understanding is the key. Once you get the understanding, everything becomes very simple also. And the answer to this question is vero. So the use of this high beam light, it is allowed per segnalare, to signal or to give a signal al veicolo che precede. When we say veicolo che precede, we are talking about the vehicle ahead of us. Okay, so the vehicle ahead of us. Sia di giorno, even in the daytime or at night. Okay, having the intentions to do overtaking. And the answer to this question is vero, guys. This one, okay, whether in centro abitato or fuori centro abitato, okay, if you want to do overtaking, okay, if you want to do overtaking, it is not by force to signal with the high beam light to give a flash, but you are allowed. If you want to do overtaking on a vehicle ahead of you in centro abitato or fuori, guys, you can always give a flash with a highlight for that vehicle to be notified that the vehicle at the back, okay, has intention of doing overtaking on him or her. So you can always give a flash to give a signal to the vehicle ahead of you that you want to do overtaking. Our next question. Si devono usare gli indicatori di direzione quando si effettua una svolta a sinistra, ma non quando si svolta a destra, vero o falso? And indeed, the answer to this question is false. Si devono usare gli indicatori di direzione. So we must use the directional indicators quando si effettua una svolta a sinistra, when we are turning to our left, ma non quando si svolta a destra, but not when we are turning to our right. And the answer to this question is false. Whether you are turning to your left or to your right, we must always signal with these direction indicators in advance to your left or to your right. It's very, very important. L'uso dei proiettori di luce abbagliante è di norma consentito in città in caso di nebbia fitta, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. The question says that the use of the high beam light by the law, it is allowed in a city in case of a heavy or in case of a strong fog. And the answer to this question is false, guys. The law says that in the city, if there's an intense fog, use your position light, your low beam light, and also your fog light. As simple as that. There's no need for you to use your high beam light because there is a heavy or an intense fog. No, use your position light, Luce Anabaliante, and the Fendi Nebbia for the fog. Our next question. Non si devono usare gli indicatori di direzione quando si cambia corsia, mentre si circola su strada a senso unico, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. Whether you are circulating in one-way circulation or two-way circulation, once you change your lane, we must always signal with the directional indicators. Now the question says that we must not use, okay, or it is not false to use the directional indicators when we are changing our lanes whilst we are circulating on one-way circulation. No, whether it is one-way circulation or two ways, once we change our lane, we must always indicate the direction indicator. L'uso degli indicatori di direzione è necessario quando si inizia una manovra di sorpasso, ma non quando la si termina rientrando nella corsia di marcia normale, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. Now, know that the law says that when we are circulating, okay, on carreggiata with two or more lanes, always the first or the right lane, they are used for the normal circulation, and the left lanes, they are always reserved for overtaking. So the law says that when you use the left lane to do overtaking, after the overtaking, you must get back to the right lane. It is by law. If you want to do overtaking, you use the left lane. After the overtaking, you have to get back to the right lane for the normal circulation. And the question says that the use of these directional indicators, it is used when we start to do overtaking, but not when we finish the overtaking and we want to get back to the normal lane. And the answer is false. When we start doing the overtaking, we have to signal with the direction indicators. After the overtaking, and when we are getting back to the normal circulation, we must always signal the entrance with these directional indicators. Hello, guys. Okay. Welcome back. It is raining here in my place. That's why I'm having difficulties with this connection. Yeah. So, guys, vero o falso? È obbligatorio accendere le luci del veicolo in caso di scarsa visibilità per le condizioni del tempo, nebbia, neve, pioggia. Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. Guys, it is compulsory to turn on or to switch on the lights of the vehicle in case of a scarce or a poor visibility due to the condition, okay, of the weather, whether it is a fog, snow, or a rainfall. And the answer to this question is vero. When there's a rainfall, a snow, or a fog, guys, we have to turn on the position light, luce annabaliante, and the fog lights also. Our next question. Il simbolo raffigurato indica il comando per accendere le luci di posizione, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false, guys. This is a bonus question. Yeah, this is a bonus question. So this one is not indicating any position light. If you see this symbol with the green color, it tells you that we have activated our directional indicators, not the position light. Si devono usare gli indicatori di direzione per segnalare l'intenzione di spostarsi nella corsia di decelerazione di un svincolo autostradale, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero, guys. Yeah, on autostrada, if you want to exit from the carreggiata of autostrada by taking the corsia di decelerazione, before you engage the deceleration lane, you have to activate your direction indicator for other vehicles to know your intentions, where you are turning to, whether you are moving to take the corsia di decelerazione. And the answer to this question is vero. The same thing applies to from if you want to enter into autostrada from the corsia di accelerazione. Before you enter, guys, we must have our directional indicators on. Fuori dai centri abitati, i conducenti devono spegnere i proiettori di profondità procedendo con quelli annabalianti se vi è pericolo di abbagliare i conducenti di veicoli circolanti su altre strade, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. Yeah, so outside the city, drivers must turn off their high beam light and to proceed with the low beam light if there is a danger to diesel, other vehicles or other drivers, okay, circulating on the road or other road. And the answer to this question is zero, guys. If the high beam light, okay, would diesel and it will be a danger for other vehicles circulating on the road, you have to turn it off and proceed with the low beam light. Il simbolo raffigurato segnala l'accensione della luce posteriore per nebbia, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. Il simbolo raffigurato segnala l'accensione della luce posteriore per nebbia. So this symbol figure, okay, it is giving a signal that we have turned on our fog light, okay, the back fog light. Luce posteriore per nebbia, so the back fog light. No, this one refers to the luce anabagliante, not the back fog light. Pur avendo acceso le luci anabaglianti, si corre il rischio di abbagliare gli altri se le lampade sono montate in maniera errata o non sono omologate, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. Pur avendo acceso le luci anabaglianti. Okay, so we have turned on our low beam light. Okay, si corre il rischio di abbagliare gli altri. So we can cause a danger or we can cause risk to dazzle other people on the road. Se le lampade, if the bulb that we have, you're talking about the luce anabaglianti, the bulb, is not well fixed or they are not government approved. If you don't buy the correct one and you buy any synthetic, which is not the government approval, when you're in a circulation, they can tend to be high beam light to dazzle and to disturb the sight of people. And the answer to this question is zero. So even to the mechanics, if they are fixing this low beam light, yeah, they have to be very, very careful and make sure that they have positioned them well, yeah, in their position. Because if they do any mistake, or if they are not well fixed, or they don't use the right bulb, it may tend to be from low beam light to be a high beam light to destroy or to damage other people. Our next question. L'uso degli indicatori di direzione è necessario quando ci si arresta ad un semaforo rosso, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false, guys. Yeah, so the use of these direction indicators, the question says that they are necessary if we stop at a red traffic, and the answer is false. So if we stop at a red traffic, there's no need for us to indicate. And how are you going to indicate for people to know that you are at a red light? No, it is impossible to give that signal. I catadiotri, se illuminati hanno la funzione di rendere più visibile, specialmente di notte, i veicoli e i rimorchi in sosta sulla strada, vero o falso? Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. So these reflectors, if they are illuminated, yeah, if they receive or they reflect light, you can see that their functioning is to render highly visible, especially at night, vehicles or trailers parked alongside a road. And the answer to this question is vero. Yeah, in the daytime, they are visible, but they are more visible, especially at night. Yeah, to render the vehicles or the remorquios highly visible by other vehicles or drivers passing. È consentito l'uso intermittente dei proiettori di profondità a luce abbagliante solo quando si trasportano feriti o ammalati gravi, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. The question says that it is allowed to use the high beam lights only when you are transporting, okay, wounded people, victims, people, having physical challenging, okay, so sick peoples. If you are transporting a sick person, a wounded person, or any victim to the hospital or to a place, we are allowed to use the high beam light. And the answer to this question is false, guys. We don't use a high beam light. We don't use a high beam light. Let's turn on the normal low beam light on. Yeah, not the high beam light. Our next question. Durante la marcia, in caso di fitta nevicata, oltre alla luce annabbagliante, bisogna tenere accesa la luce posteriore per nebbia se il veicolo ne è dotato, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. So during movement or during circulation, in case of an intense snow, apart from the low beam lights, we have to also turn on our back fog light if the vehicle has it. And the answer to this question is true. And if your vehicle is without the back fog light, then it is without the back fog light. But if it has it, then we are allowed to turn it on. This is a bonus question. Il simbolo raffigurato è posto su una spia a luce verde. Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. Yeah, so this one is located on a blue color, not green. Because this one is Luci Abaliante. Luci Abaliante. Guys, let's do some few questions and then open for questions from the audience. È obbligatorio attendere i proiettori anabalianti nelle gallerie stradali solo se scarsamente illuminati. Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. The question says that it is compulsory to turn on your low beam lights, okay, on the tunnel, in the tunnel, if only, okay, the illumination is poor or scarce. No, the law says that whether in the tunnel you have a better visibility, whether the public illumination is good or bad, we must always turn on the low beam light. Guys, let's go to our last question. We have many questions, but I also want to take questions from you so that I can throw more light on some things for you. So now, let's take this last question, guys. Proiettore anabbaglianti male orientati possono abbagliare gli altri utenti della strada. Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. So this luce anabbagliante, that's the low beam lights. If they are badly or poorly oriented, if they don't face them well, if you don't use the right bulb, they can dazzle, okay, or damage other users of the road in terms of their sight, because you have to face them well. You have to buy the proper or the government approval bulb for this low beam light. Guys, we've come to the end of today's program. Okay, don't give up, guys. We are going to make it. This year, I see only victories. So please don't give up. We are going to make it. Don't give up. We are